The 1950s, the golden age of American automobiles. When you think of that era, the first images that come to mind are probably gleaming chrome, soaring tail fins, and endless highways across a booming America. But beyond the familiar names, like the Chevrolet Bel Air or Cadillac Eldorado, there were cars so rare, so fleeting, that most people never even knew they existed. These cars are rare not just because of how few were built, but because of the stories they carry, bold experiments, ideas ahead of their time, or dreams that died too soon. Some were ultra-luxury machines, hand-built in only a few hundred units, while others were quirky American sports cars with designs unlike anything else. In this video, we'll uncover 12 ultra-rare American cars of the 1950s, hidden gems that history almost forgot. 1957, Mercury Turnpike Cruiser Convertible. When it comes to bold American design in the 1950s, few cars stand out like the Mercury Turnpike Cruiser. Introduced in 1957, this car embodied Ford's ambition to push Mercury as a leader in technology and style. The convertible version was built in extremely small numbers, making it one of the rarest Mercurys you can find today. The most striking feature was its boomerang-shaped A-pillars, giving the impression of a spaceship landing on Main Street. Its wide glass canopy and the innovative breezeway rear window, which could be lowered electrically, put the Turnpike Cruiser decades ahead of its time. Inside, the car was packed with futuristic gadgets, a memory steering wheel that adjusted position when the car started, and a seat-o-matic radio that automatically searched stations. Under the hood, a 368 cubic inch V8 delivering 290 horsepower paired with an automatic transmission gave the car both luxury and muscle. Yet its high price and radical looks meant sales fell short of expectations. After 1957, the convertible version disappeared, leaving behind a legacy as one of Mercury's most daring experiments. 1953, Buick Skylark. In 1953, Buick celebrated its 50th anniversary by unveiling something extraordinary: the Skylark. This was more than just a car. It was Buick's statement that it could build something luxurious, handcrafted, and aspirational on par with any American marque. With only 1,690 units produced, the Skylark became one of the rarest Buicks of the 1950s. What set the Skylark apart was its craftsmanship. The body was lowered compared to standard Buicks, giving it a sportier stance. Panels were hand-formed and reshaped for a smoother, flowing silhouette. Many chrome pieces were custom cast, pushing the price far higher than regular models. Inside, plush leather upholstery, a two-tone steering wheel, and a finely detailed dashboard made the driver feel like they were piloting something gilded in luxury. Under the hood, the 322 cubic inch nailhead V8 delivered 188 horsepower. Impressive for its time. Paired with the Dynaflow transmission, the Skylark wasn't about speed. It was about effortless cruising and presence. Today, an original Skylark commands incredible collector value. 1958, Packard Hawk. By 1958, Packard was nearing its tragic end. Once a symbol of prestige, the brand was struggling to survive, and the Hawk emerged as a desperate attempt to hold on to lost glory. Only 588 Packard Hawks were built, making it the rarest production Packard ever. What made the Hawk unique was its origin. Essentially, a rebadged Studebaker Golden Hawk, dressed up as a Packard. The most polarizing feature was its low-mounted, wide grille, a design that looked like a shark's mouth. Some found it unattractive, others admired its boldness. Combined with a long hood, low stance, and sharp lines, the Hawk became one of the most aggressive coupes Packard ever offered. Under the hood lay Studebaker's 289 cubic inch V8, supercharged by a McCulloch unit to produce 275 horsepower. With manual or automatic transmission options, the Hawk could reach over 120 miles per hour. Impressive performance for a brand gasping for survival. Today, the Packard Hawk is seen as a bittersweet icon, the final car to wear the Packard name. Powerful yet controversial. 1957 DeSoto Adventurer Convertible. In the Mopar world of the 1950s, DeSoto often lived in the shadows of Dodge and Chrysler. But in 1957, the brand unleashed the Adventurer Convertible, a car that was both luxurious, performance-driven, and exceedingly rare. With only about 300 convertibles built, it remains one of the rarest American cars of its era. The first thing that struck buyers was its forward look, styling by Virgil Exner, with sleek lines, a low stance, and dramatic tail fins, pure symbols of the space age. Inside, the Adventurer featured two-tone leather seats, a sporty steering wheel, and gleaming chrome details. It wasn't just a car, but a statement of modern lifestyle in post-war America. Performance, however, was where the Adventurer truly stood apart. Beneath the hood sat a 345 cubic inch HEMI engine, producing 345 horsepower, numbers comparable to muscle cars that wouldn't arrive for nearly another decade. Paired with the 3-speed TorqueFlite automatic, the Adventurer delivered both beauty and serious speed on the open road. Yet its high price and DeSoto's weaker brand recognition kept sales low. Today, surviving Adventurer convertibles are like miracles at auctions, often valued higher than Cadillacs of the same era. 1955 Chrysler C-300. In 1955, Chrysler shocked the American auto world with the introduction of the C-300, often hailed as the first muscle car. The name C-300 came from two things. It was part of Chrysler's new 300 line, and its 331 cubic inch HEMI V8 produced a groundbreaking 300 horsepower, the highest rating of any American production car at the time. The C-300 styling was restrained compared to the flashy Cadillacs of the era. Instead of tail fins and heavy chrome, it had a serious, purposeful look. A two-door hardtop body based on the New Yorker, a wide egg crate grille, and a muscular stance. Inside, it was trimmed in luxury but leaned towards sportiness, with leather seats and a driver-focused dash. Performance was its crown jewel. With 300 horsepower from the Hemi, paired to either a 2-speed PowerFlite automatic or manual transmission, the C-300 could exceed 130 miles per hour. On NASCAR tracks, it dominated with 27 victories in 1955, transforming Chrysler's image from safe luxury to high-speed performance. Only 1,725 units were produced, making the C-300 one of the rarest Chryslers of the decade. 1954 Kaiser Darrin 161. Launched in 1954, it was positioned as a competitor to the Chevrolet Corvette and Ford Thunderbird. Yet with only 435 units ever built, it remains one of the rarest American sports cars in history. The Darrin 161's signature feature was its sliding doors. Instead of swinging outward, the doors slid into the front fenders, a futuristic solution that saved space and grabbed attention. Its body was made of fiberglass, still a radical material at the time, only just introduced on the Corvette. Designed by Howard Dutch Darrin, the car featured a long nose, shark mouth, grille, and gracefully curved hood lines. Power came from a Willys F-head 161 cubic inch displacement engine producing just 90 horsepower. While this fell short of the Corvette or Thunderbird's performance, the Darrin was never about speed. It was a showpiece, a head-turner meant to impress with style and innovation. Though short-lived, the Kaiser Darrin 161 is highly prized by collectors today. Surviving examples can fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. 1957 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham. This was Cadillac's absolute flagship, priced at nearly $13,000, twice the cost of a Series 62 of the same year, and even more than a Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. Only 400 were hand-built in Detroit, making it one of the rarest and most extravagant Cadillacs ever. What made the Eldorado Brougham remarkable was its lavish interior. It came with air conditioning, multi-way power seats, individual ashtrays, and lighters for each passenger, and even a built-in beverage cabinet with crystal glasses. Cadillac also supplied owners with luxury accessories such as a vanity set, silver cigarette case, and even a fountain pen. This wasn't just transportation, it was a rolling lounge of opulence. Technically, the Eldorado Brougham was groundbreaking, featuring an advanced air suspension system that delivered unmatched smoothness. Power came from a 365 cubic inch V8 rated at 325 horsepower, more than enough to propel the over 5,000-pound sedan gracefully down America's highways. Today, the Eldorado Brougham stands as a symbol of glamorous excess, a reminder of when Cadillac reigned supreme in the luxury car market. 1953 Chevrolet Corvette. If there's one car that defines the American sports car, it's the Corvette. Yet few realize that the very first generation, introduced in 1953, was a risky gamble for Chevrolet. Only 300 units were built in Flint, Michigan, all finished in polo white with a red interior, making the 1953 Corvette one of the rarest and most valuable in Corvette history. What set the Corvette apart was its fiberglass body, the first mass-produced car in America to use the material. This not only saved Chevrolet the cost of expensive steel dies, but also allowed for sleek, flowing lines. Its styling drew inspiration from European roadsters, featuring a two-seat layout, chrome-toothed grille, and rounded rear fenders. Under the hood, however, the Corvette was less impressive. Powered by the Blue Flame 235 cubic inches inline-six with triple Carter carburetors, it produced 150 horsepower. Paired exclusively with a two-speed Powerglide automatic, it left enthusiasts wishing for more performance from a so-called sports car. Though its sales were underwhelming at first, the 1953 Corvette is now a crown jewel for collectors. Every surviving example represents not only extreme rarity, but also the foundation of a legend that has endured for over 70 years. 1956 Continental Mark II. In the 1950s, if the Cadillac Eldorado symbolized flamboyant luxury, the Continental Mark II represented an entirely different philosophy: refined, understated, and handcrafted perfection. Built by Ford with the intention of rivaling Rolls-Royce and Bentley, the Mark II carried an astronomical price tag of nearly $10,000, making it the most expensive American car of its time. Unlike Cadillac's dramatic tail fins, the Mark II featured clean, elegant lines, a long hood, and a simple, tasteful grille. Every curve was deliberate, with no excess ornamentation. Inside, the craftsmanship was second to none: European Connolly leather, Thick wool carpeting, fine woods, and hand-polished chrome created an environment of quiet sophistication. Power came from a 368 cubic inch V8, producing 285 horsepower, paired with a 3-speed automatic. It wasn't built for speed, but for smooth, silent motoring, the kind of serene experience expected by wealthy industrialists and celebrities who chose it. With only about 3,000 units produced between 1956 and 1957, the Mark II never generated profit for Ford. Yet today, it is remembered as one of the most refined American automobiles ever built. 1954, Oldsmobile F-88 Concept. If there was ever a concept car from the 1950s that left enthusiasts wishing it had gone into production, it was the 1954 Oldsmobile F-88. This was General Motors' bold attempt to position Oldsmobile in the two-seat sports car market directly against the Chevrolet Corvette. Yet the project was shelved quickly, with only 4 prototypes built, and just one surviving today. The F-88 looked like a blend of European roadster elegance and American flair. Its compact body featured flowing curves, a low grille, and round headlights that gave it a sporty yet upscale appearance. Inside, fine leather trim, sporty gauges, and a driver-focused dash suggested it was meant to be more than a showpiece. It was built to be driven. The real highlight sat under the hood, a 324 cubic inch rocket V8 producing 250 horsepower. Compared to the Corvette's early 150 horsepower inline-six, the F-88 was clearly more powerful. With a manual transmission, it promised the kind of excitement American drivers craved. But GM feared the F-88 would outshine the Corvette, the company's chosen halo car, and the project was quietly killed. The sole surviving F-88 now resides at the Gateway Auto Museum in Colorado, once valued at over $3 million at auction. 1957. Ford Skyliner retractable hardtop. In 1957, Ford shocked the American auto industry with the Skyliner retractable hardtop, the world's first production car with a power-operated retractable steel roof. In an era dominated by tail fins and chrome, the Skyliner stood out with a mechanism so complex it bordered on unbelievable. At the push of a button, the entire steel roof folded and stowed neatly in the trunk. The system used more than 600 mechanical parts, switches, and electric motors, making the Skyliner a true engineering marvel of the 1950s. With the top down, it looked like a luxurious convertible. With the top up, it became a solid, quiet hardtop. The trade-off, however, was that the trunk was almost unusable for luggage, a quirk owners had to accept. Under the hood, the Skyliner came with either a 292 cubic inch V8 or 312 cubic inch V8, producing between 212 and 245 horsepower, paired with manual or Ford-O-Matic automatic transmissions. It wasn't built for racing, but for smooth cruising with unmatched versatility. Produced from 1957 to 1959, only about 48,000 Skyliners were built. Today, surviving examples are treasured as bold symbols of Ford's innovation. 1956 to 57 Dual-Ghia Convertible. Built between 1956 and 1957, with only about 117 units produced, the Dual-Ghia became one of the rarest American cars of the 1950s and a favorite among the wealthy elite. The car was born from a collaboration between America's Dual Motors and Italy's Ghia design house. Dodge supplied the chassis and a 315 cubic inch V8 engine, which were shipped to Turin, where Ghia handcrafted the elegant European-style bodywork. The cars were then sent back to the US for final assembly. The result was a stunning hybrid, American muscle wrapped in Italian elegance, with premium leather interiors, a refined dashboard, and the allure of open-air motoring. The Dual-Ghia quickly became a Hollywood icon. Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and other Rat Pack stars all favored the car. Priced at nearly $7,500, it was an indulgence reserved for the ultra-rich. Today, the Dual-Ghia Convertible is a prized collector's item, often found in museums or fetching hundreds of thousands at auction. Looking back at these 12 ultra-rare cars of the 1950s, we see an era when American automakers dared to dream and dared to build. From Ford's Skyliner with its retractable hardtop, to the limitless luxury of the Cadillac Eldorado Brougham, to the romantic US-Italian fusion of the Dual-Ghia, each car tells a unique chapter of history. They are rare not only because of limited production, but because they embodied creativity, ambition, and sometimes pure audacity. Today, these cars are prized treasures among collectors. More importantly, they remind us of a time when automobiles weren't just about transportation, but about style, innovation, and the American dream itself. Which of these cars impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more surprising stories from the golden age of classic cars.